A stranger keeps asking about you in your neighborhood because. My dear child, if you believe in angels, start this video and watch it completely. Angel says this is a very important message for you today, do not ignore it. Pay attention to this message with all the silence your heart can summon, with all the tenderness your soul can carry, because this message is not something ordinary, not something casual, not something you scroll past or turn away from. It is sacred. It is divine. It is timely. And it has arrived now, like the quiet wind before a miracle, like the hush of twilight before dawn breaks open the sky with light. Someone you do not yet recognize, someone your eyes have not yet been able to truly see, has been searching for you, not out of curiosity, not out of mischief, not out of intent to bring chaos, but because your name has stirred something deep in their soul. A stranger keeps asking about you in your neighborhood because something in them knows your spirit, even if they don't yet know your face. They have walked past doors you've closed in pain. They've asked subtle questions, not to expose you but to understand the reason their heart tugs every time your name is whispered on the wind. They walk by the place where your laughter once lived, and they feel the ache of not having been there to witness it. You do not know them, yet. But they carry pieces of you already in their dreams. And you must know this now, because the hour is drawing near, and your soul must be ready. This stranger is not just someone passing by. They are a carrier of purpose. They are the answer to a longing you buried under disappointment, under betrayal, under tired breaths and exhausted prayers. You thought love had forgotten you. You thought meaning had overlooked your door. But no, there is a movement happening that you cannot see yet. And this stranger keeps asking because something in the air is telling them that you are not just anyone. In the quiet corners of your neighborhood, people have noticed. There's been a shift in energy. An unfamiliar face has been seen more than once. Someone who doesn't quite belong, yet doesn't quite feel out of place either. That's because they are drawn, not by familiarity of geography, but by the magnetism of spirit. By the pull of something they don't understand but cannot ignore. They've asked the shopkeeper. They've asked the child who was playing on the steps. They've asked someone who once helped you carry your bags. They've asked in ways that seem innocent, yet purposeful. Each question is a breadcrumb. Each encounter is a step closer to the unveiling of something destined. And you, the one they are searching for, must understand that the universe does not stir the hearts of strangers without reason. You think they've passed by you, perhaps, and gone. But no. They are circling back. Again and again. Drawn by a name they don't even fully know how to pronounce but feel compelled to speak. You. You are the reason they are here. Not by chance. Not by accident. But by design. Something inside them is restless. It started with a dream. A face they couldn't place. A voice they couldn't forget. A feeling that would not go away. And when they asked others in your neighborhood, they hoped someone would say, "Yes, I know who you mean." And someone did. And now they're closer. Closer than ever. This isn't about romance alone. This is about divine orchestration. About seasons shifting. About someone being moved not by sight, but by calling. Their questions are sacred. Their presence is timed. They are not searching because of gossip or curiosity. They are searching because their soul is responding to something your soul cried out long ago. Maybe in a whisper you don't even remember speaking. Maybe in a tear you thought no one saw. Maybe in a moment of silent surrender when you said, "If anyone is meant for me, let them find me." And now, here they are, asking. Seeking. Waiting for a door to open, for a sign to appear, for your presence to step into their line of sight so that everything finally makes sense. They don't know your whole story. But they feel it. In the way their heart races near your street. In the way their breath slows when they see your gate. In the way their spirit quiets when someone says your name in passing. They are haunted by the beauty of not yet knowing you and held captive by the necessity of finding you. It's deeper than longing. It's hunger. Not for flesh but for meaning. Not for romance alone but for the sacred collision of two journeys that were always meant to meet. People in your neighborhood have noticed. Some are curious. Some are confused. Some whisper, "Why them?" But the stranger keeps asking anyway, because what they are after is not your status, not your story summary, not your reputation. They are after the truth of who you really are. They want to know what you look like when you're not trying to be strong. They want to know if your laugh sounds like the one they've imagined. They want to know if the peace they seek lives behind your eyes. They've seen you in glimpses, reflected in someone else's description, felt in someone else's praise. But they are not satisfied until they see you for themselves. The whispers. The restlessness. The stranger's silent walk through familiar streets. The unseen questions that have carried weight. The signs are not random. The timing is not accidental. You are being drawn out from hiding. Not to be made a spectacle, but to be revealed in the fullness of who you are. The quiet strength. The resilient love. The sacred softness you carry like a song under your breath. God has stirred the winds and touched this stranger's heart so that they could not stay away. They could have searched in many places. They could have walked away after not finding you the first time. But they didn't. They returned. Again. And again. Because the call in their spirit was louder than their confusion. And now, they are closer than ever. Perhaps they've already passed by you without knowing. Perhaps you've crossed paths without noticing. But soon, very soon, eyes will meet. And in that moment, something eternal will awaken. All the time you thought you were being overlooked, you were being preserved. All the moments you felt unseen, you were being hidden until the right one came. And that time is now. You will not have to force recognition. You will not have to explain your soul. You will not have to convince them of your worth. Because they already know. Not the surface version of you, but the one their dreams keep returning to. The one their spirit keeps pointing toward. The questions they are asking are not for gossip, they are for alignment. They want to be sure. And even now, their heart is beginning to understand that you are the one. The journey is almost over. The search is reaching its end. But the beginning, the true beginning, is about to unfold. You will see. You will know. And it will all make sense. Why you had to wait. Why others never stayed. Why nothing felt right until now. Because the one who is meant for you, who is called to you, has been on their way all this time. Let your spirit be at peace. Let your heart be open. Let your soul rejoice, quietly, reverently. Because what is coming is real. Not a fantasy. Not a fleeting thing. But a presence that will change everything. A love that will not ask you to shrink. A connection that will not ask you to perform. A union that will not ask you to hide. They are asking because they are being drawn. They are being called. And you, beloved, are being revealed. So when you next hear a knock, when you next feel the air shift, when your spirit stirs without explanation, know that it is not random. The stranger who kept asking is now closer than ever. Not a stranger by chance. But a soul you've known all along. The one who is coming to find you, not to complete you, but to walk beside you as you both discover the purpose that only love like this can fulfill. There is a wind moving in your neighborhood. Not the kind you can see swaying the trees or rattling the windows, but one that rustles through hearts, whispering a name that echoes more than once, and each time it's yours. Someone you don't know keeps asking about you, quietly, gently, almost as though they're afraid the very sound of your name might crack open the sky. And perhaps, in some unseen realm, it already has. They are walking down the street where your soul has cried in silence. They pause near the place where you once stood, broken, pretending you were whole. They linger where your laughter once poured like honey on empty days, where your tears once soaked the soil, unseen by everyone but the heavens. Their voice trembles when they ask your neighbors, "Do you know them? Have you seen them? I've been looking." Because heaven has been watching. And the time for stillness is closing. You were never forgotten. You were never unseen. Someone has felt the pull of your pain, someone whose face you do not recognize, but whose spirit was knitted beside yours before the beginning. You see, there are connections that time tries to sever, that this world tries to silence, but not even silence can stop what has been spoken in eternity. They keep asking about you, not out of curiosity, but out of purpose. They were sent. There is something you carry, and it's not just in your smile or your presence. It's in your footsteps. It's in your prayers. It's in the unseen weight of your endurance. Something about you speaks to the heavens, and the heavens have replied. That is why they keep asking. That is why someone who has never known your story now walks your neighborhood with a heart beating faster every time they near your gate. They don't even know why yet. But you do. Deep down, you do. Because all this time, you have been waiting for a message like this. A sign. A whisper. A confirmation. And here it is. You were never just a face in the crowd. You were never just someone passing through. There has always been something different about you, something the world could not categorize, something many feared, something some tried to copy and failed. You have a gift, yes, but more than that, you have an anointing. That anointing is why storms came. That anointing is why nights stretched long and lonely. That anointing is why you have been hidden in plain sight, covered while the world overlooked you. And now, that anointing is calling someone to you. If you'd like to donate or show your appreciation, you can give a super thanks up to $100. Someone is being drawn to the place you dwell, not to invade, but to seek. Not to interrupt, but to honor. They keep asking because your name stirs something in them they haven't felt in years, if ever. They don't know what it is. But they know you carry a fragrance they've never known before. The fragrance of perseverance. Of peace. Of unspeakable grace. And now, they are being drawn by that fragrance. Like a moth to the soft, divine flame you try to hide. This message is for you. They've asked 4 people already. Once near the bakery. Once near the alley where children laugh in the afternoon. Once near the old bench where you sat last week, praying in silence. And once near the mailbox, the one you stare at each morning, hoping for a letter you can't describe. Each time, they've asked the same thing: do you know where they live? Their voice is gentle. Their eyes carry sorrow and longing. And though they don't know why they're looking, they know they must keep walking until they find you. There is someone whose footsteps are tracing the echoes of your prayers. Someone who feels they are searching for peace, but what they're really searching for is you. You are a piece of their journey they didn't know was missing. You are a melody they've been humming for years, but never knew the lyrics to. And now, the moment is drawing near when their questions will reach your doorstep. When their presence will collide with your purpose. When all the lonely nights will start to make sense. This is the season where quiet becomes clarity. where mystery becomes manifestation. They are not here to fix you. They are not here to fill the emptiness that only the divine can fill. But they are here as part of what's coming next. They are a sign, a messenger, a chapter unfolding. You don't need to chase them. You don't need to prove yourself. All you must do is remain open. Remain grounded. Remain you. Because there is something radiant about the way you've endured. Something rare in the way you've chosen compassion even when bitterness tried to make a home in your heart. Something beautiful in the way you've waited without losing hope, even when you said you had none left. That is what has drawn heaven's eyes. That is what has stirred the stranger's feet. They asked about you again yesterday. Near the corner where the wind tends to turn cold at night. They held something in their hand. Something small. Something precious. Perhaps a note. Perhaps a memory. Perhaps a word they're afraid to speak. But they're holding it until the right moment. Because part of them believes, somehow, some way, you already know they're coming. The one who walks your streets seeking your name has not come to bring confusion, but clarity. They have been stirred by me. They have been called by the echo of your prayers. They are a sign of what is awakening in you. Trust the timing. Trust the unfolding. Trust that you are not alone. Yes, this is a blessing. Not the kind that flashes gold and shouts from rooftops, but the kind that creeps in like a sunrise, quietly, steadily, with power you can't deny. This blessing wears shoes and walks slow. This blessing whispers your name before it even knows how to pronounce it. This blessing asks questions without expecting answers. It waits. It watches. It wonders. And it's getting closer. This message is for you. A whisper has begun to circle the streets where your name echoes more than you know. A stranger, yes, a stranger, keeps asking about you in your neighborhood because something about your spirit calls out like a melody only the soul can hear. This is no ordinary curiosity. This is no passing interest. It is spiritual. It is deeply timed and divinely stirred. This person doesn't even fully understand why your name keeps showing up in their thoughts, or why their feet are drawn to the places you once walked or the corners of your past. But something within them is pulling them toward your light. You may feel forgotten at times. You may think no one sees how hard you fought to stay upright when life tried to push you down, but in secret places, even when you're unaware, your story is spreading. The heavens have not remained silent. Your prayers, every quiet plea whispered under your breath in lonely rooms, every tear caught in the folds of your pillowcase, have not gone unnoticed. They are circling back as answers now, disguised in unexpected people and divine visitations. And now, this stranger is being used as a sign. Not just to alert you, but to confirm what you've sensed in your spirit all along. God has been orchestrating something for you behind the veil. Rest assured, nothing will go wrong with you. You are not in harm's way. You are safe. The one who made the skies and called the stars by name has placed his hand on your shoulder. He has assigned angels to walk ahead of you. Even when things have felt confusing or unclear, you have never walked alone. You just have to trust God and pray to Him. Keep praying, even when it feels like nothing is moving. Keep trusting, even when it seems silent. His silence is not His absence. His delay is not His denial. Everything is being aligned right now, and even this stranger asking about you is part of the divine thread. There are whispers in your neighborhood, and not all of them are harmful. Some are heaven-sent. Some are meant to unlock the next chapter of your life. This stranger isn't here to harm, but to help usher you into awareness, to awaken you to what's unfolding. You are being remembered. You are being searched for. Heaven is sending messengers, and this one is earthly, but guided by something higher. Pay attention. Don't dismiss the conversations you overhear or the people you randomly cross paths with. Nothing is random when you belong to God. You've felt something shifting, haven't you? You've felt a stirring in your heart lately, like something is about to change. That's because it is. Something is being uncovered. Not to hurt you, but to free you. Finally, God is exposing what was hidden. There has been something veiled in shadows, something you were not meant to carry without clarity. And now, that light is beginning to shine. Soon, you'll understand why things didn't work out with certain people, why some doors closed, why others kept your name in places you thought were long forgotten. It's all been part of the cleansing, the refining, the revealing. A stranger keeps asking about you because they have been sent. They don't know why, but they feel the need to know you, to understand your story, to connect with your spirit. Don't be afraid. Be aware. Be spiritually sensitive. Discern, don't panic. This is not a coincidence. This is a divine notification. It's God's way of tapping you on the shoulder and saying, "You're being noticed. You're being watched over. You're being called." Something is about to be delivered into your life, an opportunity, a truth, a moment of revelation, and it will come not loudly, but gently. It may arrive in a conversation at the gate, a passing glance at the store, a question that seems too specific to be random. That is your sign. That is your moment. That is the divine unfolding. Trust it. Even when you feel misunderstood, God understands you perfectly. Even when you think no one is asking about you, someone is. Someone cares. Someone is curious. Someone is drawn. And whether it leads to healing, love, justice, clarity, or closure, it will lead to something. something good, something sacred, something meant just for you. Remember this: God will be with you. In every twist, in every delayed promise, in every unspoken fear, He stands beside you like a gentle warrior of peace. He covers you. He sings over you. He is not silent about you. Others may have talked about you in the past to hurt your name, but now the tide is turning. Now, someone is talking about you to lift your name. And the whisper has reached the right ears. The ears that matter. The ears that hear God. Don't shrink. Don't doubt yourself now. You've come too far. There's something on you that people can't ignore. It's not just beauty or talent or charm, it's anointing. That's why people are drawn to you. That's why even a stranger can't stop asking questions. Your spirit speaks louder than your words. Your presence